In the early morning hours of August the 26th, 1980, a white van parked outside Harvey's Resort Hotel and Casino in State Line, Nevada, near Lake Tahoe. Men dressed in white jumpsuits, posing as delivery personnel for an IBM copy machine, rolled a package through the front door. The security guard even held the elevator for them. No one realized it at the time, but the package left on the second floor of Harvey's was a bomb so intricate that even the FBI couldn't defuse it. And to make matters worse, it was already on a timer. A timer that would be counting down to the casino's ultimate destruction. So how could a bomb be engineered so effectively that defusing it was impossible? Who would commit such a deed? And most importantly, why? This situation took the phrase "more bang for your buck" rather literally. So, what could possibly convince someone to place a bomb in a casino? Well, the simple answer there is money. Both real and fake extortion attempts against casinos are nothing new. These establishments, especially during the 1980s, were known to carry substantial amounts of cash on site. Many people who lost money gambling harbored significant grudges. Yet even by extortion standards, the bomb at Harvey's casino is truly remarkable, so let's get into the details. The bomb was constructed from two boxes welded together from sections of 6mm thick steel plating. The upper box housed an array of switches on one side, functioning as the brains of the device. It contained the wiring and trigger mechanisms. Meanwhile, the lower portion of the box was packed with around 450 kilograms of dynamite. That's approximately 1,000 pounds. Dynamite was stolen from a local hydroelectric construction project conducting significant underground demolitions in Helms Creek, California, near Fresno. The thieves made off with 18 full cases of dynamite and blasting caps, which was collectively valued at about $50,000. The amount of explosives was sufficient to level a building, yet no trace of the perpetrators was left behind. The bomb was smuggled into the casino, disguised as that IBM copy machine underneath the tarp, complete with the IBM logo to enhance the ruse's legitimacy. Once inside, it was transported to the second floor and armed. The moment it was activated, defusing it became utterly impossible. Alongside the bomb, a typewritten note was placed on top, filled with intriguing information about the bomb and reasons why it was best not to attempt to defuse it. The note also included a demand for $3 million in unmarked bills and a complex and detailed set of instructions for delivering the money. These instructions specified the use of a lone helicopter pilot, a taxi driver, and a route along Highway 50 into the mountains. This would be followed by a signal from a strobe light and a whole lot of other steps. Once the money was delivered, further instructions would follow. The note contained several menacing warnings, including one that read, "It is our advice to cordon off a minimum of 1,200 feet radius and remove all people from that area," which was so very kind of them. However, the part of the note that truly unsettled investigators when they discovered the bomb later in the day was the information that no one, not even the creator, could defuse this bomb. It was destined to explode one way or another. So what made this bomb utterly undefusable? Well, much of it came down to the bomb's design and the circumstances surrounding it. Today, we have a deeper understanding of the bomb and the effort it took to construct it. However, at the time, the FBI was working with limited resources. There were two metal boxes, a ransom note, early 1980s technology, and not a lot of time. They had no clear idea of what would trigger the bomb or how long they had until it detonated. When the environment was quiet, bomb technicians could hear whirring noises from inside the device. Yet there was no way to determine if the bomb would explode in 10 minutes or 10 days, especially given the potentially unreliable internal timers that could have been affected by numerous factors. The real evil genius of this device lies in its countermeasures, which are designed to prevent anyone from tampering with or defusing it. The bomb features a total of 8 different mechanisms that could trigger it, each completing the circuit connected to the blasting caps and the TNT located in the larger section of the bomb. The first and simplest option was for the FBI to do nothing at all. Inside the bomb, 3 timers were set to different intervals designed to increase pressure on the bomb technicians and coerce a ransom payment. The instructions provided with the bomb claimed to offer a way to disable the first 2 automatic timers, allowing the bomb to be safely moved and detonated. This not only confused the FBI, as they wouldn't know which timer to prioritize, but also served as a failsafe in case any of the timers malfunctioned. The timers were connected to a 6-volt battery, and once all 3 timers went off, the circuit would complete, causing the bomb to explode. The note's mention of specific timings suggested an internal psychological pressure, implying that the FBI might have a day, or perhaps several days, to meet the extortion demands. However, with every passing hour, the urgency and pressure on the situation would have intensified. The smaller box contained 28 switches, many of which were fake and served no purpose other than to create confusion and fear. With approximately 450 kilograms of explosives at their feet, the FBI couldn't risk flipping any of the switches to see what might happen. Some switches were thought to have the capability to turn off the timer as well as make other parts of the bomb safer, creating what must have felt like a cruel and impossible escape room-like puzzle for the authorities. The bomb was set to explode, and the switches could either help prevent the disaster or cause it to happen. Adding to the challenge of defusing the bomb was the fact that it couldn't be moved. It wasn't just its extreme weight. FBI agents at the time estimated it would take 4 men to lift it, but it was also rigged to detonate if moved. Inside the bomb was a PVC pipe lined with aluminium foil and a metal bolt suspended under tension by a rubber band, like a pendulum. If the bomb was tilted or shifted too forcefully, the bolt would touch the floor and it would be catastrophic. Some combination of the switches was intended to disable this mechanism, making the bomb safe to transport to a secure location for controlled detonation. Okay, so they had to defuse it right there and then. No problem, right? Well, no. Wrong. Much of the bomb's casing was lined with aluminium foil, posing a significant challenge. If anyone attempted to drill into the casing or pry the box apart with a metal tool, the tool could either trigger the bomb or the foil could be pushed onto the metal frame, completing the circuit and detonating it. And don't even think about trying to work from the lids of both boxes. The lids contained pressure switches in each corner, similar to those once used in car doors. This design not only prevented defusal experts from dismantling or even cutting into the bomb, but also ruled out the option of filling the bomb with an inert gas to render it safe. Any pressure change in these scenarios could have triggered the explosion. Even unscrewing the bomb would have caused it to detonate, as the screws on its side were connected with wires and springs to the detonators. It was noted in the accompanying message that turning these screws more than a quarter of a turn would complete the circuit and trigger the explosion. Additionally, the bomb was designed to prevent defusing by flooding. A toilet float installed inside would rise if submerged, making contact, completing the circuit, and setting it off. So, how were they going to defuse it? Well, they weren't. They couldn't. The letter that came with the bomb made it explicit that once armed, the bomb could not be defused. This was especially true because it was impossible to open the device to defuse it, and even moving it required following specific instructions that would only be provided after the ransom money was delivered. After the bomb was discovered, it underwent a series of meticulous examinations. It was photographed, dusted for fingerprints, x-rayed, and thoroughly studied. A Geiger counter scanned for radiation, while electronic listening devices and stethoscopes were used to detect any internal sounds. Once all this information was relayed to Harvey Gross, the casino owner, the best course of action was determined: detonate the bomb on site. To this, Gross emphatically responded, "There's no way I'm paying these sons of a any money." Understandably, he was reluctant, given the high insurance premium he faced. Despite this, a plan was conceived, albeit a high-risk one. The FBI, in a characteristically American fashion, decided to defuse the bomb using another bomb. Although this approach might sound absurd, the idea was that a strategically placed explosive charge could potentially interrupt the bomb's electrical circuits before they completed, or disconnect the detonator from the explosives. The operation was undeniably risky, requiring split-second timing, but it was considered the best available plan. The casino had been evacuated hours earlier, and the situation surrounding the bomb had become a media frenzy. Crowds of curious tourists and reporters strained to see from behind the barricades. Some were already sporting novelty "I was bombed at Harvey's" t-shirts, which can still be found on eBay. The sheriff's office issued a 15-minute warning, leaving the evacuated gamblers with little to do but place bets on what might happen next. With the benefit of hindsight, and the title of this video, you can already guess the outcome. The bomb exploded. The plan had failed. In a dramatic explosion that was met with cheers from the crowd, a pressure wave surged from the device's center at over 4,000 meters per second. It tore through Harvey's casino like it was made of paper. Doors were blasted open, walls flattened, windows shattered, and an 18-meter-wide hole was carved out of the foot-thick concrete. Above it, a matching 15-meter-wide hole appeared, along with another 9-meter-wide hole even higher. Plaster and concrete rained down on firefighters as they rushed to the scene. TV sets dangled by wires, and toilets hung from pipes that poured water onto the mountain of debris. Thankfully, due to the evacuation, no one was injured or killed, but the damage to Harvey's was immense. Forensic experts began the long process of sifting through the chaos to determine what went wrong and whether they could identify the elusive bomb maker. It was later discovered that the linear-shaped charge intended to separate the explosives from the rest of the bomb caused a small concussion of air when detonated. This concussion activated the pendulum-based mechanism, causing the bomb to explode as planned and devastate the casino. And now we arrive at the $3 million question. Who was the mastermind behind the creation of the bomb? Did he claim his prize? And what drove him to craft such a complex explosive device? The bomb's creator was John Burgess Sr., known to everyone as Big John. He was a 59-year-old Hungarian immigrant who had fled to Europe during the Cold War. After settling in California, he became a businessman and was known for his unstable personality. He had 2 sons, Johnny and Jimmy, whom he enlisted to help collect money for his scheme, along with a few friends to assist in executing the plan. Big John was a gambler with a penchant for high-stakes blackjack at Harvey's casino. Over the years, his addiction led to significant losses, causing his life to spiral into chaos with violence, insurance fraud, and divorce. Faced with mounting debts and relentless debt collectors, he devised a plan to extort money from the very casino he owed. If his plan failed, he intended to blow up the casino. For Big John, it was a win-win situation. He meticulously built the bomb in his garage at his home in Clovis, California, slowly assembling it piece by piece. Although he and his sons initially stole the explosives, the boys got cold feet before the bomb could be planted. This hesitation prompted Big John to hire friends for assistance. Ultimately, his sons would go on to testify against him. He reportedly said upon seeing the bomb explode on the news, "It worked pretty good." But did he get his money? Well, no. The plans he outlined in the extortion letter were so complicated that the helicopter pilot couldn't find the designated landing spot. Ironically, this confusion actually may have saved him, as an armed FBI SWAT team leader was inside the helicopter. The bags, appearing to contain $3 million, actually held around $1,000 with newspapers underneath to simulate the weight of the larger amount. This blunder allowed John and his accomplices to escape, and he wouldn't be arrested and found guilty until 1985, 5 years after the bombing occurred, proving that, in the end, the house does always win. John was only connected to the bombing when a suspicious van, which had been parked at a nearby motel the night before the incident, was found to be registered to his son. He was sentenced to life in prison for his numerous felonies and died in 1996 from liver cancer in the medical facility at the Federal Corrections Center in Jean, Nevada. The bomb that Big John left behind had sparked a legacy that surprised him. He designed such an intricate explosive that even the FBI struggled to figure out how to defuse it without triggering an explosion. Over the years, theories have circulated about whether anything could have stopped the bomb from detonating. Suggestions include using liquid nitrogen to freeze its circuitry, employing chemical neutralization, or utilizing a high-pressure water jet or a non-conductive drill bit. However, all of these strategies would have required extensive prior knowledge about the bomb. Even with the most modern tools at our disposal, none of these methods guarantee that the bomb wouldn't have gone off. Bill Jonke, an FBI agent present at the scene, reflected in a later interview about the bomb that even today he wouldn't know how to defuse it. The team, after all, never had the opportunity to examine the bomb's interior. Our understanding of it comes from reverse engineering and reconstructing both the debris and the ransom note. Big John wasn't exactly a reliable narrator either, so there's uncertainty about what else might have been inside. The bomb's design speaks volumes, as the sequence of events would likely unfold similarly even decades later. It remains one of the most unique and sophisticated devices the FBI has ever encountered. Chris Ronia, special agent and explosive examiner on the case, was quoted as saying, "We had never seen anything quite like it." The bomb has also left an educational legacy. Today, a replica of Burgess's bomb, as we understand it would have appeared internally, is still used for training by the FBI's laboratory division. This mock-up includes all the booby traps and fusing mechanisms believed to have been present at the time. It needed to be accurate, as it was used in Big John's trial. This remarkably destructive and intricate bomb has significantly influenced security decisions in the United States. It's one of the reasons for the clear plastic bags required at concerts, the presence of metal detectors and cameras constantly monitoring casinos, and the advancements in bomb identification and disposal training since the 1980s. Will we ever encounter a bomb like the one at Harvey's again? Perhaps. But if we do, will we be better equipped to defuse it than we were back then? Well, maybe not. Thank you for watching.